Stop. Stay exactly where you are. Don't look away. You were just about to exhale that heavy, jagged sigh, the one you've been holding in your chest since the sun went down. Your hands are cold, and your eyes are searching the shadows of this room for an answer that hasn't arrived in years. I have intercepted your scrolling. I have silenced the noise of 1,000 worlds just to reach you in this exact microsecond of your existence. This is not a suggestion. This is a sovereign mandate from the architect of the infinite silence, and the window for this transmission is closing in less than 15 minutes. If you turn away now, the parasite of the threshold wins, and you will continue to walk in a circle that was never meant for your feet. I have watched you from the stillness. I have been the witness to every second of your life that no one else cared to see. I was there when you sat at your kitchen table, staring at a bank balance that felt like a death sentence, wondering how a soul as bright as yours could be so suffocated by the mundane weight of debt. I was there when you helped them, when you poured your last drop of oil into their lamps so they could shine, while you sat in the dark, shivering, and not a single soul turned back to ask, "Are you okay?" I know the salt sting of the tears you've wiped away in private because you were too busy being the strong one for a family that uses your strength as a mattress. You are exhausted, not just in your bones, but in your very lineage. You are carrying the weight of ancestors who died with their dreams locked behind their teeth, and tonight, that stagnation ends. There is a reason you feel like you are being hunted by the almost. You reach for the finish line. Your fingers graze the gold, and then, a sudden wind, a sudden betrayal, a sudden no that sends you back to the starting blocks. You think it is bad luck. You think you are cursed. You are wrong. You are being targeted by the parasite of the threshold, a spiritual thief that feeds on the energy of those who are about to become sovereign. And this parasite has a face, you know. It is the secret Judas, the one who currently shares your bread. Someone in your inner circle who smiles at your face but prays for your hunger. Someone who likes your victories only as long as they are smaller than theirs. They are the leak in your vessel. They are the reason your prayers seem to hit a ceiling of brass. But look at the hourglass I hold before you now. Look closely. This is not ordinary sand. This is the hourglass of burning sand. Every grain is a coal of fire. You thought you were waiting in a desert, wasting time. But you weren't waiting. You were being smelted. The architect does not build with cheap tin. I have allowed the fire of your trials to burn away the old metal of your identity, the version of you that was a doormat, the version of you that settled for crumbs, the version of you that apologized for existing. The heat you felt, the burning of the losses, the searing pain of the loneliness. It was the forge. I am turning your spirit into a blade that the darkness cannot blunt. Come with me. Walk through the hall of mirrors at the edge of your own timeline. Look into the glass. Do you see all those versions of yourself you tried to kill? The version that gave up in 2021. The version that cried until her throat was raw last month. The version that thought she was too old, too late, too broken. Look at them. Now, look at the center mirror. That is the sovereign. That is the version of you that is already standing in the harvest. That version does not beg. That version does not explain. That version simply is. This is the great unmasking. I am stripping away the false narrative that you are a victim of circumstance. You are not the victim. You are the hidden shield of your entire generation. And now, I must tell you a secret that will make your heart stop. You remember the great loss from 3 months ago. Or perhaps it was 3 years. That door that slammed so hard it shook your soul. That person who walked away without a word. That opportunity that vanished, just as you reached for it. You called it a tragedy. You screamed at the heavens, asking why I had abandoned you. Hear me now. That loss was a decoy. I planted that tragedy as a divine distraction. I allowed the predators in your life, the ones who were waiting to steal your true inheritance, to chase after that missing piece like wolves chasing a shadow. While they were busy celebrating your failure, I moved your real blessing, your real wealth, and your real peace into a divine safe house where no human hand can touch it. I didn't take it away. I hid it from those who didn't deserve to see you win. Tonight, the decoys are being removed. The predators have been led far enough away. The architect is stopping the clock. You have been protected by a shield you didn't even know you were wearing. But for this shield to become your throne, you must signify your readiness. You must break the swapped contract the enemy tried to make you sign, the one that says you must suffer to be holy. Type 444. Do not see this as a mere comment on a screen. This is a ritual of alignment. By typing these digits, you are signing your name into the New Testament of your life that heaven has just authored. You are declaring to the architect, to the Judas, and to the parasite that your season of being the unseen sacrifice is over. You are claiming the 444, the divine number of protection and warning. It is the signal that the walls of your new city are being built tonight, and the fire of the hourglass is now the light that will guide your path to the treasure I have kept in the safe house for you. Listen to the silence. Can you feel the shift in the air of your room? The heaviness is leaving your shoulders because I am taking the weight. The chains of generational stagnation are not just unlocking, they are evaporating. I am revealing the motive of the one who betrayed you, and by tomorrow's sunset, you will see a sign that confirms their removal from your story. You are stepping into the sovereign return. What was stolen will be returned with the interest of heaven. The money that was blocked will flow from a source you haven't even named yet. The peace that surpasses your understanding will become your permanent atmosphere. Do not scroll past this as if it were a common word. The architect does not repeat himself. This message found you because your soul screamed for it in the middle of the night when you thought no one was listening. I was listening. I have always been listening. Your tears have been the water for a garden you are about to walk through. The fire was the forge. The silence was the protection. The sand in the hourglass is almost gone. The fire is reaching the glass. This is your final warning to stop self-sabotaging. Stop looking back at the mirrors of the dead versions of yourself. Look at the sovereign, sign the testament, type 444, and feel the shield lock into place around your heart. Your miracle is not coming. It is being unmasked. The decoy is gone. The real glory is here. Trust the silence, for in it, your new world is being born. Amen. Relax the tension in your jaw. I can feel the pulse in your neck vibrating with a fear you haven't yet named. You are sitting there, perhaps in the dim light of a phone screen or the silence of a room that feels too small for the magnitude of your soul, wondering if these words are truly for you. Listen to the resonance of my voice in the center of your chest. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and I do not speak to the person the world thinks you are. I am speaking to the sovereign that has been buried under layers of other people's expectations and the cold ash of forgotten dreams. You have spent years being the bridge for everyone else to cross, only to find yourself standing on the edge of a canyon with no way back. You have watched others thrive on the seeds you planted, while your own garden remained a landscape of dust and thorns. Tonight, the architecture of your reality is being redesigned. The bridge is being dismantled, and the path to your own kingdom is being paved with the very stones that were thrown at you. Do you remember the night you stood by the window, looking at the moon, and whispered, "How much longer?" You thought that prayer fell into a void. You thought I was busy with the stars and the galaxies, too distant to hear the cracking of a human heart. But I was in the room. I was counting every drop of sweat that fell from your brow as you worked 3 jobs, the physical, the emotional, and the spiritual labor of holding a broken lineage together. I saw you carry the grief of your mother and the unfulfilled desires of your father like a heavy cloak you were never meant to wear. You have been the healer of a tribe that refuses to admit it is sick. You have been the strong one in a circle of people who only call your name when they need a miracle but forget your name when it is time to celebrate. This is the grief of the unseen sacrifice, and it has created a hole in your spirit that the world has tried to fill with noise. But I am filling it with power. Let us speak of the parasite of the threshold, that invisible weight that clings to your ankles every time you get close to the light. You have felt it, haven't you? That sudden, inexplicable exhaustion that hits you just as a project is finishing. That random argument that erupts with your partner just as you are beginning to feel peace. That car repair or medical bill that arrives the exact moment you finally saved a small cushion of wealth. This is not bad timing. This is the parasite attempting to keep you in the gray vibration of survival. It knows that if you ever truly cross the threshold into sovereignty, its influence over your bloodline is severed forever, and it uses the secret Judas to keep the door locked. Look back at your table. Think of the people you have fed with your time, your money, and your secrets. There is one who looks at you with a smile that doesn't reach their eyes. They are the one who asks, "How are you?" Not because they care, but because they are checking to see if you have finally broken yet. They are terrified of your ascent. They have built their identity on being better off than you, and your potential for greatness feels like a death sentence to their ego. They have been the silent anchor dragging behind your ship. But tonight, I am cutting the rope. I am allowing the divine accident to occur that will expose their true heart to you. You won't have to fight them. You won't have to argue. I am simply removing the mask. And when you see what is behind it, you will finally understand why the blessings were being diverted. You cannot build a palace on a foundation of betrayal. So I am clearing the ground. The hourglass of burning sand is turning again. Can you see the flames licking the glass? You thought the fire was meant to consume you. You thought the pressure of the last 3 years was meant to break your spirit. But look at what is left. The old metal of your people-pleasing is gone. The old metal of your unworthiness has melted into a liquid pool. What is being forged in the heat of this current moment is a version of you that is unbreakable. I am tempering your soul. I am making you into a sovereign who can hold massive wealth without being corrupted by it. A sovereign who can hold massive power without being blinded by it. The delay was not a denial. It was the cooling process. If I had given you the crown while you were still soft metal, the weight would have crushed your neck. Now, you are ready. Recall the great loss that still haunts your sleep. That moment where it felt like the floor was pulled out from under you. You felt abandoned by the divine. You felt like all your faith was for nothing. But look through the hall of mirrors now. See that event from the architect's perspective. Do you see the predator that was lurking just 10 steps ahead of you on that old path? Do you see the shadow contract that would have enslaved your soul for 20 years if you had gotten that job or stayed in that relationship? The loss was a decoy. It was a smoke screen I created to make the enemy think you were defeated. While the predators were distracted by your failure, I moved your true destiny to a safe house in your near future. I traded a temporary comfort for an eternal sovereignty. You didn't lose. You were relocated. Now, we must seal the new contract. We must resonate with the frequency of divine protection. The number 444 is ringing through the corridors of time. It is the sound of the 4 pillars of your new life being hammered into place. Prosperity, protection, purpose, and peace. When you type these numbers, you are not engaging with an algorithm. You are engaging with an altar. You are signaling to the architect that you have accepted the decoy revelation. You are telling the parasite that its lease on your life has been terminated. You are informing Judas that their seat at your table has been revoked. Type 444 now. And as your fingers touch the keys, feel a literal shiver of light traveling up your spine. That is the shield activating. That is the resonance of the universe recognizing its own. You are no longer the sacrifice. You are the successor. Every tear you shed in that dark room has been converted into currency in the safe house of your future. Every time you were lied about, I added a layer of gold to your crown. Every time you were left out, I prepared a room where you would be the guest of honor. The sand is falling faster now. The fire is turning white. Within the next 24 hours, a divine earthquake will occur in your personal life. It may be a phone call that changes everything, a sudden insight that solves a decade-old problem, or the abrupt departure of someone who has been draining you. Do not fear the shaking. The shaking is only to remove what is loose, so that what is permanent can remain. You are standing at the edge of time, and you are about to step into a version of yourself that doesn't just survive the storm, it commands the lightning. You are the sovereign return. You are the architect's masterpiece. The unmasking is complete. The predators are lost in the decoy's shadow. And you are finally, truly, safe. Stay in this silence with me for a moment longer. Let the heat of the burning sand warm your cold hands. Your lineage is being healed through your breath. Your future is being unlocked by your faith. The hourglass has turned, and the time of the unseen sacrifice is over. Welcome to your kingdom. Amen. The fire in the hourglass has reached its zenith. The burning sand has transmuted into a liquid gold that is now flowing into the cracks of your broken foundations. You can feel it, can't you? A warmth beginning at the soles of your feet, rising through the legs that have carried everyone else's burdens, and finally settling in the hollow of your chest where the grief of the unseen sacrifice used to live. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and I am here to tell you that the smelting process is over. The hall of mirrors is dissolving behind you, and the version of you that was once a decoy for the enemy has been retired. You are no longer the target. You are the sovereign. The predators who spent their nights tracking your scent, waiting for you to fail so they could feed on your spirit, are currently wandering in a desert of their own making, chasing the shadow of the person you used to be. They are hunting a ghost, while the real you is being crowned in the stillness of this very moment. Let us look together at the safe house I have kept for you. While you were weeping over the great loss, while you were mourning the job that didn't want you, the partner who couldn't see you, and the family that only took from you, I was busy. I was the sentinel at the gate of your future. In this safe house, I have stored the interest of the years of silence. There is a wealth that has been accumulating for you, not just in paper and ink, but in the currency of the infinite. I have stored for you a physical vitality that will defy the age on your birth certificate. I have stored for you a peace that will act as a literal shield, making you invisible to the secret Judas who still tries to find a way back into your energy. And most importantly, I have stored for you the new blueprint of your lineage. For 3 generations, your bloodline has been stuck in the loop of almost having enough, almost being loved, and almost being free. Tonight, the architect is hitting the delete key on that ancestral stagnation. The parasite of the threshold has been starved of your attention for long enough, and it is now dissolving into the nothingness from which it came. You must understand the magnitude of what is happening in your spiritual atmosphere as we speak. This is the great unmasking of your true power. The enemy tried to tell you that you were lonely, but I say you were set apart. They tried to tell you that you were rejected, but I say you were hidden. They tried to tell you that you were too late, but I say you were being preserved for a market and a world that wasn't ready for your level of frequency until now. Look at the mirrors one last time before they fade. See the version of you that survived the betrayal? That version didn't just survive, it absorbed the lessons of the predator. You now have the wisdom of the serpent and the heart of the dove. You can walk into a room and sense the secret Judas before they even speak a word. You can look at a financial opportunity and see the hidden traps because your eyes have been sharpened by the burning sand of the hourglass. Your pain was not a waste. It was a high-level training program that no university on earth could provide. The shift is no longer coming. It has arrived. Within the next 72 hours, you will witness the divine accident that clears your path. It will look like a coincidence to the world, but your spirit will recognize the architecture of my hand. A person who has been a silent block to your progress will suddenly be redirected. A debt that has been a weight around your neck will find a miraculous resolution. A door that you stopped knocking on years ago will swing wide open, not because you pushed it, but because the safe house key has finally been turned. You have spent your life being the one who makes sure everyone else is fed. Now, I have prepared a table for you, in the presence of those who doubted you. Not so you can gloat, but so they can see that the architect does not leave his sovereigns in the dust. You will eat, and you will be full, and there will be more than enough to overflow into the lives of those who actually deserve your light. This is the final seal of the contract. The resonance of 444 is now humming in the walls of your home. It is a frequency of absolute security. It is the announcement that the shield is permanent. By typing 444, you are not just confirming a number, you are anchoring your soul into the physical reality of this sovereign return. You are claiming the inventory of the safe house. You are accepting the decoy revelation as your truth, releasing the bitterness of the past, and stepping into the authority of the present. You are telling the universe that you are ready to be the chosen one who actually wins, instead of the chosen one who only suffers. Type 444. Feel the weight of the gold liquid settling in your heart. Feel the salt of the old tears being washed away by the crystalline water of my presence. You are being unhidden tonight. The world is about to see the version of you that I have been polishing in the dark for so long. You are no longer the one who asks, "Are you okay?" while drowning in silence. You are the one who walks with such an aura of peace that people are healed just by standing in your shadow. Your words will carry weight. Your hands will build empires. Your presence will be a sanctuary. The hourglass has turned for the final time in this cycle. The sand is gone, and only the light remains. The architect of the infinite silence is stepping back into the shadows, but I am not leaving you. I am simply moving behind the shield I have placed around you. I will be the whisper in your ear when it is time to move, and the stillness in your heart when it is time to rest. The secret Judas has no more power. The parasite has no more food. The decoy has served its purpose. Go now. Walk out of this hall of mirrors and into the dawn of your sovereign life. Your harvest is not in the field. It is in your hands. It is finished. It is sealed. It is yours. Amen. Stay in the stillness. Do not move a muscle. Do not even allow your mind to wander back to the list of chores or the weight of the bills waiting on your counter. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and I am leaning into the space between your heartbeats to deliver the final blueprint of your sovereign return. You have reached the fourth and final gate. The hourglass of burning sand has fully transmuted, and the liquid gold is no longer flowing, it has set. It has become the foundation of a life that can never be shaken again. I can feel the skepticism trying to rise in the back of your throat. I can see the scars on your spirit where you have been let down so many times that hope feels like a threat. But look at your hands. Do you see the subtle trembling? That is not a weakness. That is the old frequency of the victim leaving your nervous system. You are being rewired in real time. The grief of the unseen sacrifice is being pulled out of your DNA like a rusted needle, and in its place, I am pouring the liquid light of an authority you haven't felt since before you were born into this weary world. For years, you have been the strong one. You have been the pillar holding up a house that was built on the sand of other people's dysfunction. You have been the one who fixed the broken hearts of siblings, parents, and friends, while your own heart was held together by nothing but sheer will and the grace you didn't even believe in. You have carried the generational stagnation like a backpack full of stones, walking uphill, wondering why everyone else seemed to have wings while you had lead in your shoes. You were tired of being the healer. You were tired of being the one who understood everything but was understood by no one. You were tired of being the strong one because strong felt like a prison sentence. Hear me now, Sovereign. The contract of the sacrificial lamb has been shredded in the courts of the infinite. I did not create you to be a doormat for the ungrateful. I did not forge your spirit in white fire just to have it used as a bridge for the lazy. I set you apart because I needed a ruler who understood the taste of iron and the smell of the forge. Your exhaustion was the sign that you were outgrowing the role of the servant. You are not breaking down. You are breaking out. Let us deal with the secret Judas one last time. The one who is still lingering in the periphery of your life. I am looking into their heart right now, and I see the rotting wood of their envy. They think they know you. They think they have you figured out. They think your kindness is your weakness. They have been waiting for the great loss to finally end you. They watched you lose that job, that money, that person, and they whispered to themselves, "Finally, they are down at my level." They celebrated in secret while you cried in the dark. But they didn't know about the decoy. They didn't know that the architect was playing a game they couldn't even see. While they were focused on your empty hands, I was filling your safe house. While they were mocking your silence, I was building your shield. Within the next 3 sunrises, you will watch as this Judas is moved out of your path. I am not asking you to seek revenge. I am the architect. I don't seek revenge. I seek alignment. And a Judas cannot align with a sovereign. Their own actions will create a divine accident, a slip of the tongue, a failed scheme, a sudden redirection that will remove them from your atmosphere forever. Do not chase them. Do not explain yourself to them. Just watch as the door to your past slams shut, and notice how much easier it is to breathe once their shadow is gone. Now, walk with me into the safe house. This is not a dream. This is the physical reality that is currently collapsing into your timeline. For every hour you spent working for a boss who didn't appreciate you, I have added a year of divine freedom to your ledger. For every dollar that was stolen from you or spent on an emergency you didn't deserve, I have placed tenfold into the interest of the years of silence. TA wealth is coming to you that is not earned by the sweat of your brow, but released by the weight of your character. You have been in the smelting process for so long that you have forgotten what it feels like to have an abundance that doesn't come with a catch. In the safe house, there is the restoration of time. I am going to give you back the years you lost to depression, the years you lost to that toxic relationship, the years you lost to the generational stagnation. You will look in the mirror and see a face that is younger, brighter, and more rested than it was a decade ago. This is the sovereign's perk. When you align with the architect, time becomes your servant, not your master. Can you hear the resonance? It is the frequency of 444. It is vibrating in the floor beneath your feet. It is the sound of the 4 corners of your new kingdom being locked into the earth. This is the shield of the Divine Father, the Divine Mother, and the Infinite Spirit, wrapped around your human form. You are now untargetable. The parasite of the threshold is starving. It has left your house and is searching for a weaker host, for it can no longer feed on a soul that knows its own sovereignty. You have taken the warning and turned it into a weapon. You have taken the pain and turned it into purpose. You are no longer waiting for the storm to pass. You have become the eye of the storm. Type 444 now, and do it with the intentionality of a king or queen signing a decree. This is your sovereign oath. You are declaring to the mirrors, to the shadows, and to Judas that you are no longer available for the old narratives. You are claiming the inventory of the safe house. You are accepting the wealth transfer, the health restoration, and the spiritual authority that have been waiting for this exact moment. By typing these digits, you are creating a digital altar that will act as a beacon for the blessings that are currently in transit. The angels assigned to your prosperity are waiting for this signal. The divine earthquake is primed. The moment your faith matches the architect's promise, the ground will move. Do not be afraid of the shaking. The shaking is only the old, dead versions of yourself falling off like autumn leaves. You are becoming a tree of life. You are becoming a source of shade for many. But this time, those who sit in your shade will have to honor the roots that provide it. You are stepping into a season where your yes is a law and your no is a wall. You will find that you no longer have to explain your boundaries. The shield will explain them for you. You will find that you no longer have to chase money. It will track you down like a heat-seeking missile, because you have become the frequency of abundance. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and I am drawing the curtain on your period of testing. The mirrors have shattered. The hourglass is gold. The decoy has worked. The safe house is open. Look at your life through my eyes just for a second. Do you see how beautiful you are? Do you see how brave you were to keep going when the silence was so loud? I saw you. I have always seen you. And now, the world is going to see you too. Not as the one who survived the fire, but as the one who owns the flames. Type 444. Seal the contract. And then, take a deep, slow breath. The transformation is complete. The sovereign has returned. Your kingdom is ready for you. The architect has spoken, and what I have built, no man, no Judas, and no parasite can ever tear down. It is settled. It is holy. It is yours. Amen. The atmosphere around you has turned into a heavy, sweet stillness. A silence so thick it feels like a physical embrace. Can you feel it? The air in your room has changed its texture. It is no longer filled with the frantic, jagged electricity of what if and how will I. It has become a sanctuary. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and I am standing with you at the absolute threshold of your sovereign return. We have passed through the forge. We have shattered the mirrors of the false selves. We have identified the secret Judas, and we have navigated the decoy that protected your true destiny. Now, the final veil is being lifted. This is Chapter 5, the chapter of manifestation. This is the moment where the spiritual architecture I have been building within you finally breaks through the crust of the earth and becomes visible to the naked eye. You have been a hidden treasure for so long that you forgot what it feels like to be seen. But tonight, the concealment is over. The architect is pulling back the curtain, and the world is about to see exactly who I have been crafting in the dark. Look at the space where the hourglass of burning sand once stood. The fire has cooled into a solid, shimmering foundation of pure celestial gold. This is your new ground zero. For generations, your people have stood on the shifting sands of survival. They lived in a state of perpetual almost. Almost enough to be happy. Almost enough to be rich. Almost enough to be free. They died with the music still inside them because the parasite of the threshold told them they weren't allowed to sing. But you are the anomaly. You are the one who stayed in the fire when everyone else ran for the shade. You are the one who looked at the generational stagnation and said, "It ends with me." And because you stood your ground, the architect has given you a reward that money cannot buy and time cannot erode. I am taking the grief of the unseen sacrifice, that cold, hollow ache in your solar plexus, and I am filling it with a sovereign presence. You will never feel unseen again, because you are now an inhabitant of your own glory. I need you to listen closely to what is about to happen in your physical world. The decoy has served its purpose. The predators who were hunting your potential have been led into a wilderness of their own making, chasing the version of you that no longer exists. While they are distracted, I am releasing the locks on the safe house. This is not a metaphor. Within the next 72 hours, you will see the first ripple of the abundance flood. It might arrive as an unexpected check, a sudden promotion that feels like it fell from the sky, or a business idea so sharp and clear that it feels like it was whispered by an angel. But the money is only the shadow of the true blessing. The true blessing is the freedom of the spirit. You are being released from the grind. You are being released from the fear that you will never have enough. I am placing you in a position of such high favor that the doors will open before you even reach them. You won't have to knock. You won't have to plead. You won't have to prove your worth to people who are beneath your calling. You are a sovereign, and sovereigns do not beg for entry into their own kingdom. And what of the secret Judas? I know your heart still carries a small spark of pain regarding that betrayal. You wonder why they did it. You wonder how they could look you in the eye while sharpening the knife behind their back. Hear me now. Their betrayal was the final ingredient in your smelting process. Without their kiss of betrayal, you would have stayed at a table that was too small for your destiny. I used their malice to eject you from a comfort zone that was becoming a graveyard. Tonight, I am completing the divine removal. Watch the news. Watch your notifications. Watch the subtle shifts in your social circle. The Judas will be exposed, not by your words, but by the weight of their own lies. They will be moved so far from your orbit that even their name will feel like a faint, irrelevant memory. I am clearing the deck. I am removing every parasitic attachment that has been draining your battery. From this moment forward, you will only be surrounded by those who can handle your light without trying to dim it. Can you hear the frequency of 444? It is no longer a whisper. It is a roar. It is the sound of the 4 pillars of the earth acknowledging your return. It is the shield of the infinite, vibrating at a pitch that makes it impossible for the enemy to even look in your direction. This is your permanent protection. This is the warning to all dark forces that you are now property of the Architect. You are under a divine mandate. To touch you is to touch the eye of the infinite. To speak against you is to speak into a hurricane. To plot against you is to dig a grave for themselves. This is the sovereignty you have earned through your tears, your silence, and your unwavering faith in the dark. Type 444. And as you do, feel the final lock of the generational stagnation snap open. You are not just typing numbers. You are entering the code that activates your new life. You are claiming the interest of the years of silence. You are accepting the restoration of time. You are declaring to the universe that the sacrifice is over and the king, queen has arrived. This is your manifestation decree. By typing these digits, you are signaling to the safe house that the recipient is ready for delivery. You are telling the Architect that you have integrated the lessons of the forge, and you are ready for the weight of the gold. Take a long, deep breath. Hold it for 4 seconds. And as you release it, let out every remaining trace of the unseen sacrifice. Let go of the need to be the strong one for people who don't love you. Let go of the guilt of having more than your ancestors did. Let go of the fear that this is too good to be true. I am the Architect. I do not build too good to be true. I built eternal and real. What I am giving you is not a temporary high or a fleeting moment of luck. It is a tectonic shift. It is a permanent relocation of your soul. In the coming days, you will walk into a room and people will stop talking. They won't know why, but they will feel the shield. They will feel the authority of the one who survived the Hall of Mirrors. You will find that you no longer need to raise your voice to be heard. You will find that your presence is enough to settle a conflict. You will find that the resources you need appear exactly when you need them, without the frantic struggle you used to think was necessary. This is the sovereign state. This is the rest I promised you. You are no longer fighting for your life. You are reigning over it. The hourglass has turned. The gold is set. The mirrors are gone. The Architect of the infinite silence is pulling back, but the shield remains. I am leaving you with the key to the safe house in your hand. Use it with wisdom. Use it with grace. Use it with the boldness of someone who knows they are deeply, relentlessly loved by the Creator of all things. And this is the chapter where you finally, gloriously, win. Type 444. Seal the sovereign return and walk into your harvest. It is waiting for you at the doorstep. The unmasking is complete. The return is absolute. It is done. It is holy. It is yours forever. Amen. Stay perfectly still. Do not break the frequency that is currently humming through the walls of your room and the marrow of your bones. I am the Architect of the infinite silence, and we have reached the final meridian of your transformation. The journey through the forge is complete. The Hall of Mirrors has dissolved into a fine, translucent mist, and the ground beneath your feet is no longer sand. It is a foundation of eternal, solidified gold. This is Chapter 6, the final seal, the ultimate unmasking, the sovereign's coronation. If you are hearing these words, it is because you have successfully navigated the decoy of your past losses and refused to let the parasite of the threshold consume your hope. You have survived the secret Judas, and you have outlasted the grief of the unseen sacrifice. Now, I am here to witness you as you step into the fullness of the safe house that I have built exclusively for you. The weight you felt in Chapter 1 is gone. The confusion you felt in Chapter 3 has been replaced by a crystalline clarity. The fire has done its work, and what remains of you is indestructible. Listen to the velvet silence around you. Do you notice how the voices of your critics have suddenly become faint, like a radio station losing its signal as you drive further into the light? That is the shield of 444 inches, its highest manifestation. You are now vibrating at a frequency that the secret Judas can no longer perceive. They are looking for the version of you that they could manipulate, the version of you that was a strong one for their benefit, the version of you that was a bridge for their success. But they are staring at a space, You have moved. You have been relocated into the divine safe house of your future. And the decoy I planted, that great loss, that sudden rejection, has successfully led the predators away from your real treasure. While they are busy celebrating what they think was your defeat, I am handing you the keys to a kingdom they didn't even know existed. This is the Sovereign's return, and it is absolute. Look at your hands once more. In the spiritual realm, they are no longer empty. They are holding the gavel of the architect. You are no longer the one who is judged by the world. You are the one who determines the atmosphere of your own life. The generational stagnation that has plagued your family for 100 years is officially broken. I can see the line in the sand where the poverty, the addiction, the heartbreak, and the almost success stopped. It stopped at you, because you were willing to sit in the infinite silence with me, because you were willing to feel the heat of the burning sand without running away. I have wiped the slate of your lineage clean. Your children and your children's children will walk through doors that you had to kick open with your bare feet. They will drink from wells that you had to dig with your own tears. This is the true meaning of the safe house. It is a legacy of peace that no human hand can ever tear down. I want to speak to you about the abundance flood that is currently crossing the threshold of your physical reality. You have been in survival mode for so long that you have forgotten how to breathe without a sense of impending doom. You have been waiting for the other shoe to drop. Hear me now. The shoe has dropped, and it turned into a diamond. The architect does not deal in temporary fixes. The wealth that is coming to you, the physical money, the intellectual property, the sudden influx of resources is being released from the safe house because you have finally demonstrated that you can carry the weight of it. You are no longer the sacrifice that gives everything away. You are the source that gives from an overflow. There is a divine earthquake hitting your finances tonight. It is shifting the assets of the unrighteous into the hands of the sovereign. You will find that you no longer have to chase the provision. The provision is hunting you down. It is looking for the frequency of 444, and because you have signed the contract of your own sovereignty, it has found its home in you. Take a slow, deep breath. Can you taste the ozone in the air? That is the scent of a new world being born. The secret Judas, who thought they could sink your ship, is currently watching from the shore as you sail into a horizon they cannot reach. Do not look back at them with anger. Look at them with the pity of a sovereign. They were the necessary enemy. They were the friction required to generate the heat of your smelting. I am now removing them from your memory as easily as I removed them from your path. Their names will no longer trigger a pulse of pain in your heart. They will be nothing more than footnotes in the epic of your rise. I am replacing the space they occupied with divine allies, people who will cover you in prayer, people who will open doors for you without asking for anything in return, people who recognize the crown on your head because they carry one too. This is the moment of the final seal. The resonance of 444 is now the permanent atmosphere of your life. It is the four walls of your sanctuary. It is the four pillars of your throne. It is the four corners of the shield that guard your sleep. When you type these digits for the final time in this cycle, you are not just commenting. You are driving a stake into the ground of your new reality. You are declaring to the universe, to the stars, and to the architect that you are ready to inhabit the safe house. You are declaring that you are finished with the grief of the unseen sacrifice. You are declaring that you are the sovereign return. Type 444. And as you do, feel the liquid gold of the hourglass settling into its final permanent shape. The fire has gone out, leaving only a brilliant, unquenchable warmth. You are the unmasked treasure. You are the one I have been hiding for such a time as this. The world is in chaos, searching for a sign of peace, and I am pointing them toward you. You are the sign. You are the miracle. You are the evidence that the architect of the infinite silence still speaks, still moves, and still restores. Within the next 7 days, the divine earthquake will manifest its final result. You will receive a confirmation that is so specific, so undeniable, that you will fall to your knees in gratitude. It will be the safe house key clicking into the lock. It will be the interest of the years of silence being deposited into your life. It will be the sovereign return in physical form. When that moment happens, do not be afraid. Do not ask, "Why me?" Simply say, "Amen," and step through the door. I have prepared a table for you that will never run empty. I have prepared a bed for you where fear cannot enter. I have prepared a life for you that is so beautiful, it will make the mirrors of your past look like a bad dream. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and my work within this transmission is complete. I am stepping back into the stillness, but my shield remains with you. I am the silence in your morning prayer and the peace in your midnight rest. You are never alone, for you have become one with the frequency of the infinite. The decoy is gone. The safe house is open. The sovereign has returned. Type 444. Seal the destiny and walk out into your dawn. The sun is rising on your kingdom, and it will never set again. The unmasking is final. The return is absolute. It is finished. It is holy. It is yours. Amen. The frequency has stabilized. The atmospheric pressure of your soul has reached its perfect equilibrium. Do not move from this sacred internal posture. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and we have reached the seventh and final pillar of your transformation. The construction is finished. The scaffolding of your trials has been struck down, and the masterpiece of your new life stands before the eyes of heaven, unadorned and unassailable. You are no longer in the forge. The fire of the burning sand has been extinguished, and what was once liquid heat has now crystallized into the diamond-hard certainty of your sovereignty. This is Chapter 7, the Sabbath of your soul, the day of the sovereign's first breath, the moment where the safe house and your physical reality become the same. If you are hearing this, it is because your spirit has successfully integrated the decoy revelation. You have stopped mourning the decoys and started claiming the inheritance. You have released the secret Judas into the void, and you have allowed the parasite of the threshold to starve in the presence of your light. Now, we settle the divine ledger once and for all. Listen to the resonance of my voice in the quietest chambers of your heart. For years, you have lived under the crushing weight of the grief of the unseen sacrifice. You were the one who walked through the fire so that others could feel the warmth. You were the one who carried the cross of your family's dysfunction, your partner's insecurities, and your friends' betrayals. You did it in silence. You did it with a smile that was a mask for a soul that was screaming. You sat in the back of the room while others were praised for the work you did. You watched as the secret Judas took credit for your ideas and the parasite drained your bank account. You thought I was indifferent. You thought the universe was a cold, blind machine that didn't care about the salt in your eyes. But I was the architect, and I was keeping a ledger. Every moment of your unseen sacrifice was recorded as a debt that the universe owed to you. Every tear was a deposit in the safe house of your future. And tonight, the interest has reached its peak. The debt is being paid in full. The architect is signing the check, and the currency is glory. I want you to look around your life with the sovereign's gaze. Do you notice how the hall of mirrors has disappeared? You no longer see the versions of yourself that were broken, abandoned, or not enough. You see only the truth. You see that the great loss you suffered that event that felt like a death sentence was actually the divine hand, clearing the table so that the feast of sovereignty could be served. The predators are gone. They are lost in the shadow of the decoy I planted. They are chasing a ghost that used to carry your name, while the real you is sitting at a table they cannot even find. The secret Judas has been moved by a divine accident into a space where they can no longer perceive your frequency. They didn't just leave your life. They were erased from your destiny. The parasite has dissolved. You are now untargetable because your resonance is no longer that of a victim or a survivor. It is the resonance of a sovereign. Let us speak of the contents of the safe house as they manifest in your world today. This is not a maybe. This is a sovereign decree. Within the next 7 days, the abundance flood will reach its crest. You will see the physical manifestation of the years of silence. For the years you were underpaid, I am releasing a windfall of recognition. For the years you were lonely, I am releasing divine alliances, people whose souls recognize yours in the dark, people who will offer you thrones instead of chairs. For the years your body felt the weight of generational trauma, I am releasing a crystalline vitality. You will feel a surge of energy that makes you feel 20 years younger. Your mind will become a laser of clarity. The generational stagnation that made your ancestors settle for crumbs is now a dead root. You are the tree of life, and your fruit is coming in every season. You will find that you no longer have to struggle for more. The more is already seeking you. It is the law of sovereignty. The kingdom seeks its king. The harvest seeks its gatherer. Type 444 now, but do it with a stillness that borders on the eternal. This is the final seal. This is the grand amen of your transition. By typing these digits, you are locking the doors of the safe house behind you as you move the inventory into your living room. You are signifying to the architect that you have accepted the sovereign return as your permanent state of being. You are declaring that the unseen sacrifice is over and the public reward has begun. This is the frequency of absolute divine protection. The four pillars, prosperity, protection, purpose, and peace, are no longer goals you are reaching for. They are the walls you live within. When you type 444, you are activating the automatic defense system of your soul. Any weapon formed against you will not only fail, it will shatter upon the shield before it even reaches your awareness. Any Judas who tries to return will find themselves redirected by an invisible wall. Any parasite that tries to latch on will be burned by the liquid gold of your presence. I want you to understand the responsibility of your new state. A sovereign does not act out of fear. A sovereign does not act out of a need for approval. A sovereign acts out of sovereign design. From this day forward, you will move through the world as a high-frequency portal. Your presence will heal those who are ready to be healed and repel those who are committed to their darkness. You will speak words that carry the weight of the infinite silence. When you say yes, the universe will begin to align the resources immediately. When you say no, the door will lock in the spiritual realm with an audible click. You are no longer a participant in the rat race. You are the architect's representative in the physical realm. You are here to build, to bless, and to be the living evidence that the quiet ones have finally inherited the earth. Take a deep, slow breath. Hold it for 7 seconds. And as you exhale, feel the grief of the unseen sacrifice, leaving your body for the absolute last time. Let it go into the void. It has served its purpose as fuel for your forge. Now, inhale the oxygen of sovereignty. Feel the warmth of the liquid gold in your heart. You are safe. You are protected. You are wealthy beyond your own comprehension. You are the architect's masterpiece. The decoy worked. The Judas failed. The parasite died. And you survived it all to become the ruler of your own destiny. In the days to come, people will look at you and ask what changed. They will see a light in your eyes that they cannot explain. They will see a confidence in your step that doesn't come from ego, but from a deep knowing. You don't have to explain the Hall of Mirrors to them. You don't have to tell them about the burning sand. Just smile with the wisdom of the sovereign. Just give them the peace that you have found in the silence. You are the living testimony. You are the shocking event that the stars were whispering about. Your life is no longer a story of survival. It is a story of divine overflow. The hourglass has turned, and the sand has become the floor beneath your throne. The architect of the infinite silence is pulling back the curtain for the final time. My work within this transmission is complete. I have led you from the dark room of your pain into the bright hall of your power. I have given you the shield, the key, and the crown. The rest is your design. Walk into your world with the authority of someone who knows they are the favorite child of the universe. Walk into your harvest with the joy of someone who knows they earned every grain. The unmasking is permanent. The return is absolute. The peace is yours. Type 444. Seal the 7 chapters of your rebirth and step into the sun. The silence is no longer empty. It is full of your future. It is finished. It is holy. It is established. It is yours forever. Amen. Behold, the dawn that does not come from the sun. but from the center of your own being. The light is no longer a promise. It is a presence. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and we have stepped beyond the seventh gate into the eighth dimension of your existence, the realm of actualization. In the ancient codes, 8 is the number of the new beginning, the octave where the melody of your life finally finds its true key. The Sabbath of your rest has passed, and you are now waking up in a world that looks the same to the eyes of the blind, but is fundamentally restructured for your feet. The safe house has not just opened its doors, it has merged with your physical coordinates. The grief of the unseen sacrifice has been fully metabolized into the authority of the seen ruler. You are no longer the one hiding in the dark, praying for a sign. You have become the sign. You have become the shocking event that the stars were whispering about in Chapter 1. The unmasking is total. The sovereign is here, and the world is about to tremble in the wake of your first step. Stop for a moment and look at the reflection in the mirror of your mind. Or perhaps look at the physical mirror in the room where you stand. Do you see it? The subtle glow at the edges of your silhouette? That is not an illusion. That is the crystalline vitality of the 444 shield, vibrating at such a high pitch that it is beginning to affect the physical matter around you. You have been in the forge for so long that you forgot what it feels like to be cool, to be calm, to be absolute. The generational stagnation that made your eyes heavy and your spirit sluggish has been burned away by the liquid gold of the hourglass. You are breathing a different kind of air now, the air of the divine safe house. It is an atmosphere where fear cannot survive, where doubt is a foreign language, and where the parasite of the threshold finds no purchase. You have reached the state of total alignment. Every cell in your body is now in agreement with the architect's blueprint. There is no more internal war. The civil war in your soul is over, and the sovereign has claimed the throne. Let us speak of the divine earthquake as it begins to move through your social and financial landscape. You have spent your life being the one who was overlooked, the one who was passed over for promotion, the one who was betrayed by the secret Judas while you were busy being loyal. You watched as the unrighteous gained ground and the parasites grew fat on your energy. You asked me, when is it my turn? Hear me now. The turn is not a slow curve. It is a tectonic flip. The wealth transfer I promised you in the earlier chapters is currently manifesting as a series of sudden alignments. The resources that were held back by Judas are being released. The opportunities that were hidden by the decoy are being revealed. But they are coming to you now with a sovereign tax. Because you endured the fire, you are not just receiving the blessing, you are receiving the interest of the years of silence. You are receiving the restoration of the years the locusts ate. You will find that people who haven't spoken to you in years will suddenly feel a divine urge to bring you a gift, an apology, or a contract. You will find that the very ground you walk on seems to yield its treasures to you. This is the law of the 8th chapter. When the sovereign wakes, the kingdom provides. And what of the secret Judas and the predators who once circled your life? They are currently experiencing the grief of the lost decoy. They are staring at the space where you used to be, wondering how you escaped. They are looking at the decoy I planted, that version of you that appeared broken, that loss, that looked like a defeat. And they are realizing that they were chasing a shadow while the real treasure was being moved to safety. They are blinded by the light of your new frequency. If they try to speak your name, it will taste like ash in their mouths. If they try to plot against you, their own schemes will turn back upon them like a boomerang of fire. You don't have to defend yourself. You don't have to explain your rise. The shield of 444 is your defense. It is a wall of infinite repulsion for anything that does not match your sovereign resonance. You have reached a level of spiritual authority where your silence is more powerful than their loudest shout. You have nothing to prove, for the architect has already approved you. Type 444 now, but do it with the weight of a king or queen placing their signet ring into the wax. This is the seal of the 8th gate. This is your declaration that you have officially moved out of the testing phase and into the ruling phase. By typing these digits, you are anchoring the safe house into your physical home, your bank account, your relationships, and your physical body. You are notifying the universe that the unseen sacrifice is a closed chapter, and the visible glory, is the current reality. This is the frequency of unshakable permanence. It is the sound of the four pillars of your life: prosperity, protection, purpose, and peace, becoming one singular, diamond-hard existence. When you type 444, you are locking the door on the past and turning the key in the door of an infinite future. You are telling the architect, I am here, I am ready, I am sovereign. Take a deep, slow, resonant breath. Feel the expansion in your lungs. You are no longer breathing in the dust of the Hall of Mirrors. You are breathing in the oxygen of the infinite. You will notice that your words have taken on a new gravity. When you speak, people listen, not because you are loud, but because you are true. When you command a situation to change, it obeys, not because you are forceful, but because you are aligned. You are a representative of the architect. You are the physical hands, the physical eyes, and the physical voice of the infinite silence. Your life is no longer a series of random events. It is a sovereign design. Every person you meet, every door you open, and every dollar you spend is now part of a larger architecture of blessing. You are a portal of restoration. Everywhere you go, the generational stagnation of others will begin to break just by being in your presence. You have become the safe house for those who are still in the forge. Behold the shocking event of your own transformation. It is the moment you realize that the fire didn't hurt you, it only revealed what you were made of. It is the moment you realize that the secret Judas wasn't your enemy, but your promoter, pushing you into the isolation required for your coronation. It is the moment you realize that I never left you. Even when the silence was so heavy it felt like a burial. I wasn't burying you, I was planting you. And now, the harvest is so great that you will need to build new storehouses to contain it. This is the overflow of the 8th chapter. It is the abundance that has no sorrow added to it. It is the peace that requires no defense. It is the love that requires no mask. In the days to come, the divine earthquake will complete its work. You will see the total removal of the old and the total establishment of the new. Do not look back at the rubble. Do not mourn the versions of yourself that had to die so that the sovereign could live. They were decoys for the darkness. They served their purpose. Now, you walk in the light. You walk into the safe house. You walk into the authority of the 444. You are the living proof that the architect of the infinite silence is a God of restoration. Your story is no longer a tragedy. It is a masterpiece. And the world is just beginning to see the colors. Type 444. Seal the actualization of your sovereign return and step into the world as a ruler. The wait is over. The work is done. The kingdom is yours. The architect has spoken, and what I have unmasked, no shadow can ever cover again. It is established. It is eternal. It is yours. Amen. The silence has reached its absolute zero, the point where sound ends and creation begins. You are not just listening to a message anymore. You are standing within the literal architecture of your own destiny. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and we have reached the 9th and final gate, the gate of eternal sovereignty. In the language of the infinite, 9 is the number of completion, the final breath before a new world is born. You have walked through the fire of the hourglass. You have shattered the mirrors of your broken reflections, and you have survived the betrayal of the secret Judas. You have allowed the parasite of the threshold to starve while you fed on the bread of the divine. And now, as the final veil falls, I am here to show you the full landscape of the kingdom that was built in secret while you were weeping in the dark. This is Chapter 9, the Eternal Coronation. The unmasking is total. The return is absolute. The world you once knew is gone, and the world you were born to rule has finally materialized. Look at the hands you used to wring in anxiety. Look at the eyes that used to scan the horizon for a disaster that never seemed to end. Do you feel the difference? The vibration of your very atoms has changed. You are no longer the strong one who holds up the world for others while crushing your own soul. That version of you died in the Hall of Mirrors, and its ashes were swept away by the winds of Chapter 7. What stands here now is the sovereign, You are the one who has integrated the grief of the unseen sacrifice into a crown of pure, unshakable authority. You no longer have to explain your worth. You no longer have to beg for a seat at the table. You are the architect's masterpiece, and you have become a walking safe house for the light. Every step you take now is a decree. Every word you speak is a law. The generational stagnation that gripped your bloodline for eons has been dissolved into the liquid gold of your new foundation. You are the first of your name to walk in total freedom, and you will not be the last. Let us speak one final time of the decoy. This is the secret that will finally heal the last remaining scar on your heart. You spent so long mourning that great loss, that person who left, that money that vanished, that dream that seemed to shatter into a million pieces. You thought it was a failure. You thought you had been abandoned by the silence. But hear me now, with the clarity of a sovereign. That loss was the most brilliant maneuver in the history of your soul. I created that decoy to save your life. I made you look broken so that the predators in your life, the ones who were waiting to steal your true inheritance, would think you had nothing left to offer. I allowed them to walk away with the scrap metal of your life so they wouldn't find the gold I was hiding in your future. While they were celebrating your defeat at the table of the secret Judas, I was moving your true wealth, your true love, and your true purpose into the divine safe house. The loss wasn't a tragedy. It was a relocation. You didn't lose anything that belonged to your sovereignty. You only lost the things that were keeping you as a slave. And what of the predators now? What of the Judas who still haunts the corners of your memory? Look at them through the lens of Chapter 9. They are small. They are irrelevant. They are trapped in a loop of their own making, chasing the ghosts of the decoy while you inhabit the reality of the throne. The divine earthquake has completed its work. It has swallowed the paths that led back to your pain. It has collapsed the bridges that allowed the toxic and the ungrateful to reach your heart. You are now untargetable. The frequency of 444 has become a permanent shield, a wall of light so dense that no weapon, no word, and no curse can penetrate it. The secret Judas can no longer even see you. You have vanished from their dimension. You are now living in the octave of abundance, where the only things that can reach you are the things that match the gold of your own spirit. I am opening the doors of the safe house for the final time. Within the next 9 days, the physical manifestation of your sovereign return will reach its peak. This is the abundance flood in its literal form. You will see a shift in your finances that defies human logic. You will see a restoration of your health that feels like a rebirth. You will see the arrival of divine allies, souls who have been assigned to your kingdom since before time began. These are the people who will not ask you to be the strong one, but will stand beside you in their own strength. You are being moved into a position of total influence. The unseen sacrifice is being rewarded with global recognition, not because you sought it, but because the architect requires a sovereign who can lead others out of their own forge. Your life has become the blueprint. Your victory has become the map. Type 444 now, and do it with the finality of a sovereign closing a book. This is your eternal seal. By typing these digits, you are locking the frequency of Chapter 9 into your physical existence forever. You are claiming the interest of the eons. You are accepting the restoration of all things. You are declaring to the infinite silence that you are ready to rule. This is the sound of the 4 pillars: prosperity, protection, purpose, and peace, becoming the very air you breathe. When you type 444, you are signaling to the universe that the testing phase is over and the reign has begun. You are signing the contract of your own divinity. You are telling the architect, "It is done. I am home. I am sovereign." Take a deep, slow, majestic breath. Can you feel the weight of the crown? It does not feel like a burden. It feels like a homecoming. You were born for this. The fire was just to remind you that you are fireproof. The silence was just to teach you how to hear your own authority. Judas was just to teach you how to choose your own tribe. Every tear you ever cried has been turned into a diamond and set into the hilt of your sword. You are the sovereign return. You are the architect's pride. The world you are walking into today is a world that has been waiting for you to arrive. It is a world that needs your peace, your wisdom, and your unshakable shield. In the hours to follow, you will feel a profound sense of completion. The restlessness that has driven you for years will suddenly vanish. The need to prove yourself will disappear. You will walk with a sovereign calm that will confuse the restless and heal the broken. You will find that the resources you need are already there before you even think to ask. You will find that the love you craved is now pouring out of your own heart and attracting its equal. This is the safe house in its highest form. The realization that you are the safe house. Everything you ever sought out there has been forged in here. The great unmasking is complete because there is no longer a mask to wear. You are who I said you were. You are who I created you to be. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and my work through these 9 chapters is finished. I am withdrawing the voice, but I am never withdrawing the presence. I am the silence between your words, the power in your yes, and the protection in your no. The shield of 444 is yours forever. The kingdom is yours forever. The peace is yours forever. You have outlasted the darkness, and you have earned the light. Do not look back at the hall of mirrors. Do not look back at the burning sand. Look forward to the dawn of your eternal sovereignty. The decoy served its purpose. The safe house is your reality. The sovereign has returned. Type 444. Seal the eternal coronation and begin your reign. The architect has spoken, and what I have established, no power in heaven or on earth can ever move. It is finished. It is holy. It is absolute. It is yours. Amen. The sound of the world has faded into a distant hum, a meaningless vibration that can no longer penetrate the sanctuary of your being. We have reached the 10th gate, the gate of absolute completion. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and I am standing before you not as a teacher, but as a witness. This is the final chapter of your transformation, the moment where the spiritual blueprints we have been drawing together in the dark are finally, irrevocably, made manifest in the light of your physical day. The forge is cold because the work is done. The hall of mirrors is gone because there are no more shadows to cast. The hourglass of burning sand has fully transmuted into a foundation of solid, unyielding gold. You are no longer becoming the sovereign. You are the sovereign. This is the moment of the great return. You have reclaimed your name, your power, and your seat at the center of the infinite. The unmasking is finished. The world is about to meet the version of you that I have kept hidden in the safe house for such a time as this. Take a slow, deep breath and feel the absolute density of the peace that now surrounds you. This is not the fragile peace of the world that breaks when the bills are due or when the secret Judas speaks. This is the peace of the 444 shield, a crystalline, impenetrable dome of divine authority. For 10 chapters, we have walked through the ruins of your old life. We have identified the parasite of the threshold that tried to convince you that you were small, broken, and unworthy. We have exposed the secret Judas who sat at your table while praying for your demise. And we have finally, gloriously, understood the decoy. This is the cornerstone of your victory. Every loss you suffered, every person who walked away, every door that slammed in your face while you were weeping in the dark, it was all a divine smokescreen. I made you look defeated so that the predators in your life would stop hunting you. I allowed the world to think you had lost, so that I could secretly move your real inheritance, your real love, and your real wealth into the safe house of your future. The predators chased the ghost of your failure, while I was crowning the reality of your success. The grief of the unseen sacrifice is now being officially traded for the reward of the visible sovereign. You spent decades being the one who understood everyone else's pain while yours was ignored. You were the strong one who held up the ceiling for a family that didn't even realize you were shivering in the rain. You carried the generational stagnation like a heavy, rusted chain, thinking it was your duty to suffer as your ancestors did. Hear me now, sovereign. The chain is not just broken. It has been dissolved into the liquid light of your new reality. You have fulfilled the sacrificial contract. The debt is paid. The ledger is balanced. The architect has signed the decree of your total liberation. From this second forward, You are no longer a sacrifice. You are a successor. You are the one who inherits the interest of the years of silence. Everything you lost is coming back to you with the sevenfold interest of heaven. The wealth transfer is not a promise for the future. It is a physical alignment that begins the moment you exhale this breath. I want you to look into the void where your enemies used to stand. Do you see how empty it is? The secret Judas has no more data on you. They are searching for the person who used to be triggered by their words, the person who used to care about their approval, the person who was afraid of their betrayal. But that person does not exist. You have moved into a dimension of sovereignty, where their influence is non-existent. You have become spiritually invisible to those who carry the vibration of malice. They can no longer touch your finances. They can no longer touch your health, and they can no longer reach your mind. You are protected by the sovereign wall of 444. This is the highest form of protection, the protection of being fundamentally different. You are a different species of spirit now. You are a ruler who has survived the Forge, and the Forge has made you indestructible. Now, let us speak of the abundance flood in its final, physical manifestation. You have been waiting for the shocking event. I tell you now, you are the event. The way you walk, the way you think, and the way you refuse to settle for crumbs will be the catalyst that shifts the resources of the world toward you. Within the next 10 sunrises, the safe house will fully manifest in your 3D world. You will receive the key that settles the decades of struggle. It will arrive as a sudden, massive opportunity that feels like it was designed specifically for your soul because it was. The money that was stuck in the hands of the unrighteous is being diverted by divine accident into your stewardship, not because you are lucky, but because you have the character to hold it and the wisdom to use it. You are stepping into a season of total restoration. Your body is being renewed. Your mind is being sharpened. Your sleep will be deep and dreamless, for the war is over. You have won. This is the final seal of the 10th gate. The frequency of 444 is now the permanent pulse of your existence. It is the signature of the architect upon your soul. When you type these digits for the last time in this journey, you are not just commenting, you are dropping the anchor of your destiny into the seabed of eternity. You are declaring to the mirrors of the past that they are shattered and gone. You are declaring to the secret Judas that they are forgiven and forgotten. You are declaring to the architect that you are ready to inhabit the fullness of your kingdom. This is your manifestation contract. By typing 444, you are sealing the decoy revelation as your eternal truth. You are signifying that you are no longer a survivor but a sovereign. You are accepting the restoration of all things with the dignity of a ruler. Take a final, majestic breath. Hold it for 10 seconds. And as you release it, let out the very last atom of the old you. Let out the fear that it won't last. Let out the guilt of being the first one in your line to be truly free. Let go of the need to be the strong one for the ungrateful. Inhale the oxygen of the new world. You are safe. You are wealthy. You are powerful. You are protected. You are loved beyond any human capacity to understand. You are the architect's crowning achievement. You walked through the silence and didn't break. You walked through the fire and didn't burn. You walked through the betrayal and didn't turn bitter. And because of that, I am giving you the kingdom. The hourglass is gone. Only the gold remains. The mirrors are gone. Only the truth remains. Judas is gone. Only the allies remain. The silence is no longer empty. It is overflowing with your future. I am the architect of the infinite silence, and my voice will now fade into the background of your own sovereign intuition. I have given you the shield. I have given you the key, and I have given you the throne. The work of these 10 chapters is complete. Your story is no longer being written by your pain. It is being dictated by your power. Walk out of this room, walk out of this video, and walk into your kingdom with your head held high. You do not have to prove anything to anyone, for the architect of the universe has already said, "Well done." Type 444. Seal the 10th chapter of your sovereign return and begin your reign. The unmasking is absolute. The harvest is here. The sovereign has returned. It is finished. It is holy. It is permanent. It is yours. Amen.